And everything on my end is still okay.
Yeah, looks okay on my end. All right, and we're live. We're officially live on YouTube. Okay, so before we get started, we have a technical problem as Shane is getting ready to join us right now. That we want to. I just want to put this out to the audience. So I'm wondering if it's something about Mississippi water or something. So basically, every time Scoop doesn't talk on our stream, it sounds like an eagle is just going in the middle of the damn stream, and I don't know why. So as I accept Shane in here, hi Shane, can we hear you? What is going on?
Oh, his face for a second. I don't think he had a sour apple.
True.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. It'll be fine.
Don't give us that. Don't give us that smolder.
Oh no. Okay. So basically, like when Scoop doesn't talk on the stream, there's like this like weird like buzzing noise, and we're wondering basically if any of you have heard it. And the funny part is, Scoop can't hear it, and it seems like, I don't know, Brandon, if you can hear it, we're on stream, but Shane and I can hear it for some reason, and we're really confused as to why that's the case. And
I don't know. I don't. Well, are you talking about like the fan going?
Not like, it's not. So it's not the fan. We solved the fan issue.
We fixed that. Oh, so there's a new sound.
There's a new sound that's coming somewhere.
From the bowels of Scoop's living situation.
Scoop, unmute yourself so you could explain your talk on this because it's really interesting.
I don't know what you're talking about.
See, he doesn't know, and we've been trying to figure this out for weeks.
Last night, it was either last night or 2 days ago. I get into the group chat, and y'all are like tagging me and saying like, "Yeah, can we figure this out?" I'm like, I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
Yeah. So Shane, can you hear us? Are you good? Oh, gee, this is such a great way to start the podcast.
I wish the problem was on Shane's end the whole
time. I wouldn't be surmised as so. Shane again is rebooting. But yeah, anyway, we've been trying to figure this out. So if any of you have any idea why this might be going on, let us know. It's something in your living situation, and I just simply don't know why.
Oh Jesus!
And speaking of that, here's Brandon's dog's barking now.
Because my grandparents came home tonight, so that they're going nuts. They're so excited that they're back. Yeah.
But minus that, let's talk Dolphins Bills. Scoop, I'll start with you. It was a better night for the Dolphins, but self-inflicted wounds in every point for Miami.
Yeah, I mean, this game was par for the course. I think it's Buffalo going to come out looking better than they actually played because they made the right plays at the right times. Miami had everything going better than a lot of people expected, but then unfortunately, one of my favorite players, Tua Tagovailoa, became Tua turned the ball over once again, and he just again, I don't know what he saw. It looked like they had put in Zach Wilson when I wasn't looking, and it just ended up just an absolute disaster class for them at the worst possible time, which is going to make the score a lot like the game was a lot more of a one-sided affair than it was. I was actually surprised by the level of football that we got for the most part. Some of Coach McDermott's play calling on the Buffalo side really surprised me, really confused me. People who have been following my stuff for a couple of years know that I'm a bit of a cynic when it comes to Coach McDermott at times. And so I don't really look at either of these teams. I didn't come away from this game really believing that either of these teams were, wow, this is going to be a hard out when January football comes around. Now, again, of course, that's 4 months away. But I'm just as an early look, if you're trying to take stock of what teams look like so far, neither one of these teams look to me like what I thought, anywhere near what I thought their ceiling could potentially be.
Yeah, absolutely. As Shane comes in here, Shane, can we hear you? Okay.
There we go.
Go.
Hey,
Welcome.
Three times.
Sometimes you got to restart your computer. That is the magic charm here. Shane, I'll start with you. I'll continue with you. Scoop was just talking about the turnovers there by Tua and obviously the bad penalties. It's self-inflicted wounds for Miami, as we just talked to Scoop about.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't think turnovers are always the end of the world. I mean, of course you don't want to have them, but like, it's more so in critical situations, especially late in game. That's when you really don't want to have some interception that is gonna be the end of the game. I mean, if you throw a pick in the middle of the second quarter, who cares? I mean, really, like, it's that's what I tell my quarterbacks that I coach all the time. It's like, make mistakes in the first 3.5 quarters of the game, but if it's a close game, we get down to it. We got to button up at the end and execute where we need to. And I mean, that's just, I think for Tua, I'm not saying I'm giving him a pass, but like, he doesn't usually make critical mistakes like that. He's generally pretty good between the ears. But it's, in these, I mean, when you're already down 0-2, you're going against a division rival. You got to make those, and it's, I mean, it's been a rough year so far for Miami, to put it mildly.
I will say, for all of us, Miami covered, because Miami was Buffalo was minus 12.5.
Yeah.
So there's at least that if you bet Miami, but
yeah, which I mean, I thought that was kind of a weird spread, because these two, no matter how good or bad they are, they always play pretty close.
and
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I mean, that's common for division rivalries, but
Yeah.
I feel like especially, for these two, you see that a lot, and there's plenty of others where that's the case as well, but yeah.
2 touchdown spreads, especially this early in the season, like that to me is just an easy at that point. And I think Shane, I can't remember who it was.
yeah, we talked about it on, I think it was Monday. I think it was minus 14.5.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Yeah, that was
which is nuts.
Which was stupid.
The largest spread that we said we did, I think, was last year, and it was it was minus 14.5 last year.
Yeah, and this was 14.5 this early in the year. So yeah, definitely rough. Anything on Buffalo side, Brandon?
That this is who they are at this point. Sean McDermott refuses to have a game plan in place where they use James Cook effectively enough.
Same stuff we always talk about.
And Josh Allen has to literally bail them out time and time again. And their defense still is not. I mean, Miami is not bad on paper, but Miami is not the same offense they used to be. And you were that pick. I mean, the pick happened, but if that pick doesn't happen, thrown right to the defender's arms, this game is probably tied. They were driving down the field pretty easily on Buffalo there at the end. So, you gave up 21. It didn't look great. And I mean, you get the win. But it's just like Buffalo plays like this style that Buffalo plays. It's it's a lot of that's largely the reason why they don't win come playoff time, especially against Kansas City, or they get into these dog fights with the Ravens or whatever it may be. It's like you want to be the top dog, you've got to play a little bit better than this.
Yeah.
This can't be it, because if this is it, which it constantly has been, it's like then you're just asking to be an AFC Championship loser every year.
Can I add one more
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, please go ahead.
As time goes on, I look at the fluctuation of the defenses. I look at how there's typically one or two top weapons and then it falls off. I look at the consistent dearth of offensive line, and I look at basically the need for the quarterback to save the day in any sort of opportunity to win. The situations for the Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals to me are increasingly closer, and I'm not saying that in a positive way.
Can you expand on that a bit, Scoop, before Brandon goes? Can you expand on that a little bit? Because I think that's quite fascinating.
Yes, I can. So I look back a few years, and also with this in mind, the Bills for a period of time were able to eat up on teams like the Jets, the mid Dolphins, and then the Patriots, who for a while didn't know what offense was. They didn't have the opportunity to take games during this. I'm sorry. They had the opportunity to take games during the season that the Bengals didn't, with regard to facing the Ravens twice a year, facing the Steelers, who will always at least play tough for most division games, just for who Mike Tomlin is, and then even the Browns, who at times have played a good job, done a good job playing the part of a legitimate football team. So when you have those types of things, I think sometimes it was the Bengals at times looked a little bit from on a different level, sometimes just based on partially at least who they were playing. But again, I'll say it again. What do we often say about the Bills? They can't get the O-line right. What do we often say about the Bills? They've got a skittering defense year to year. What do we often say about the Bills? They've got one or two top weapons, and then it falls off, and they rely on their quarterback to get them out of everything. I don't see how the Bills and the Bengals are that much different increasingly over the last few years.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The only real difference between them is that Josh Allen's more durable, but how much longer is Josh Allen going to continue to take the hits that he does?
Well, that's just it. I mean, he's more durable because he's one of the biggest guys we've ever seen on an NFL field. But it's just because you have a couple more inches doesn't mean that you're shut up. Doesn't mean that you're in a position to.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you're in a position to sustain it.
Yeah. But that's like it's like I was thinking about that too while watching this game. Like there was a 3rd and 7 where, especially at the end of the game, it's a 3rd and 7 with the clock running. Why are you running a QB draw with Josh Allen? Just hand the ball off again. I don't understand why on 3rd and 7 you feel the need to put Josh Allen in harm's way and call a QB draw and either have him try to pick up a first down or have him slide to the ground where he could possibly get rolled up on or whatever it is and get hurt. Like, there's a lot of times where I'm just watching the Bills play football and I'm like, if it's any other quarterback, they're coming out of the game with a leg injury or they're coming out of the game with a concussion, whatever it may be. They're lucky that Josh Allen is as strong and as durable as he is. But, he took a couple shots tonight here or there. And it's just like, he hasn't gotten hurt yet, but these guys are coming up on 30 pretty soon. So it's like, how much longer are we going to see them stay this durable? Joe Burrow's already, guy's hurt every other year at this point.
Josh Allen is 29 currently.
Yeah. It's, usually quarterbacks have the longest shelf life in the NFL, but, well, quarterbacks and kickers. But quarterbacks, like, he's accumulated a lot of hits in his career. So has Burrow. Like, Mahomes, not so much, but Burrow's accumulated a lot. Josh Allen's accumulated a lot, whether it's not so much being sacked, but more so just taking the hits when he's been on the run.
Being reckless.
Yeah. Like that can only go so far. So when I watch them, like, I believe me, I want to see Josh Allen at least get to a Super Bowl, and I still think they can because it's Josh Allen. But it's like if they don't do it this year with how the AFC looks right now, because Joe Burrow's done, the Chiefs look like they've dropped off. So your only competition at this point is probably Lamar and the Ravens. So, and even then, that's two bad defenses going at it. So that's a shootout waiting to happen. So it's like I look at it to where okay, and then maybe it's Justin Herbert and the Chargers. We don't know yet; it's still early. But if those are the big three, and Josh Allen has a really good chance, but I'm just worried about all these hits eventually piling up. Like we kept saying it with Burrow. Now they've piled up. We're saying it. We even said it with Jaden Daniels at the middle way through last year. He was taking a lot of hits. Now all of a sudden he's got a knee sprain that he may not play this weekend. That's from taking too many hits. So a lot of these guys are very talented, and Josh Allen is very, very talented. The guy just won an MVP, but what's stopping Buffalo from getting back to the mountaintop is just relying on Josh Allen to be that hero so often, time and time again, that it's just how often can you go to the well with the same ideology on offense and expect it to work, especially when your defense is that bad? Like it's just we all want to see them get there. We all want to see Buffalo avenge their Super Bowl demons from the 90s. But like, what's going to happen if they haven't been able to get there in so many years already? What's going to change now if they're playing the same football they always have been under Josh Allen and under Sean McDermott?
Yeah. Shane, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't see the Buffalo-Cincy comparison at all. To me, they're very different. Like, I think Cincinnati's more like the northern version of Miami. Because, I mean, Buffalo, as of right now, they don't really have any star weapons. They don't, unlike Cincinnati, Buffalo is very good in the trenches. I mean, they're not the best, but they're certainly above average. Yeah. And their quarterback is obviously far more durable, which, I mean, there's multiple reasons for that, but, and it's just like, as far as their identity too, I mean, with Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, you have that, kind of Shanahan, McVay philosophy, whereas with Buffalo, it's much more like the kind of the Andy Reid type of philosophy going on.
Yeah,
and
sorry, finish up, Shane.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, Scoop, I was gonna say, speaking on that, I know on Monday we talked about the coaching trees. How has your process been on that? Because
it definitely where it becomes most interesting is when you start to have multiple. Because what I did was I started with every active coach, and then I just kind of started dropping down from there. And it gets particularly interesting when you start having guys that match up under like one of the same from recent times or whatever the case may be. I'm still not even close to done with it. Let me make that clear.
Yeah.
But it is quite fascinating to kind of see how certain guys and guys who are, whether it's offensively or defensively, kind of start to see quite literally the roots of where they come from, and kind of the progression throughout the course of. I'm probably only about 2 generations back so far, but it's been quite fascinating, and I want to see how far back it like actually can go. I don't intend to go all the way back to like pre-merger type, but I am curious to see at some point, if I can get more clarity on certain details of each side.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing we wanted
apologize for that.
Oh, no worries. The other thing I wanted to discuss tonight, since we didn't have like too many topics, I want to discuss Josh Allen's mechanics. Shane, what were your thoughts on that? Because I showed you the video of his work with Chris Hess. But
Yeah.
what were your kind of overall thoughts? And obviously we'll go to the rest of the crew if they have any other thoughts on that. But what do you think?
Well, I mean, what I notice with a lot of NFL quarterbacks is, they all have. You can tell that a lot of them have baseball backgrounds because they throw the football like it's a baseball, and which on the surface it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, this is how you throw a ball, or whatever. But a football, it's unique because it's such a strange shape and it's much larger than most other balls that you throw. So it's like you see a lot of. Here's in that video, Aaron Rodgers. He says that it's not like Nolan Ryan where you're coming over the top, and it's like you instead of throwing a baseball, it's a lot more like hitting a baseball, where you instead of like bending your whole back and body forward, it's more so that you are staying back, and then you're just generating the power from your back leg.
You're exploding through, pretty much.
Yeah, and using like your hips as opposed to just your whole body. And it's and I mean that's in large part just because of the strange shape of the ball. Like you have to do some physics to make it work. And I mean we see this with Allen, with Burrow. You look at their and Russell Wilson. You look at some of their college tape, particularly when they were like early on in college, and it's like their body is totally for all their momentum is past their front leg before they release the ball. So you just you lose all of your power, and you're just throwing with your arm at that point.
And it hurts your arm after a while because you're just chucking. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Chucking.
Like, yeah, it's just it strains your arm, and then, and then that's like, well, not to mention it's also bad for your accuracy because as your arm comes around, it's you're in all your body's in all different positions and shapes and whatever else. So, it's hard to be accurate when your body's like doing a little game of Twister. So that's something that I have noticed, and that's and you can tell that like Allen, the reason he took a jump from being highly inaccurate to one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league is because he did that. He, when you watch like his combine tape or even his first year or two at Buffalo, he looks like a baseball pitcher when he's throwing the ball. Mm-hmm. And now his motion looks a lot closer to that of, somebody like Brady or Breeze or, just some of the greats that you can suggest.
Do you think that made more of a difference than the acquisition of Diggs at the time?
Than the acquisition of who?
Didn't really have a deep threat, and he came out as kind of a strong arm quarterback, and he didn't really have a deep threat at first.
Oh, more than Diggs, kind of.
It was by far. I mean, yeah, it helped having Diggs, but like this is the second season without him, and I mean he's had two of his best years so far.
So now, yes. I just didn't know if you thought early on if you thought that was more.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I genuinely don't know. I'm not as knowledgeable about QB making.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think what it did most of all was open up the playbook, and
yeah,
interesting.
So then at the time, because then at the time, then Dable could, he knew that. Okay, I have this quarterback who has a strong arm. Here's this deep threat. Let me make plays that can, cater to that. But the thing is, I mean, you look at Allen in 2019, and then versus 2020, and his completion percentage increased by like almost 15%, and it was, and when you look back on it, that off season is when he made all that progress, when he made that change with his throwing, or when he made the biggest change, I guess. And I think a lot of it too. I mean, I think working with guys like Dable and Jordan Palmer, that was when he kind of started working with him, and we know the kind of magic they've been able to do on certain guys. So, that's, I think that definitely helped as well. But yeah, and I mean, I certainly was not expecting. I remember going into that year. I mean, I thought, yeah, he'll probably be better this year, but just with the addition of Diggs. But then I was not expecting the leap he did take. So I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, yeah, it was having Diggs, but I think just cleaning up the mechanics really was the big difference. And then that just kind of came with it, so to speak. So
yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just how it reads to me.
Brandon, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, at least it's an interesting thought process to have on how he's growth.
It's interesting just because, Adam always talks to me all the time about QB throwing mechanics. Like, I mean, because he works on that a lot. Like, he watches videos on QB throwing mechanics again, and also he likes to kick too, so kicking mechanics also. But it does help to actually have that baseball background. Like it's like if you, I mean, that's what Mahomes had before he played football, and that's why Mahomes is up there, with Tom Brady in the GOAT conversation. But it's definitely interesting. I never even thought about it that way. The one thing I always think about though is like every quarterback has like a weird kind of like, not weird, but every quarterback's got a routine that they go through that's like unique to them or to their skill set or whatever it is. Like, I wonder, because I always think about it when I think about throwing mechanics, I always wonder about the Dak dance. I often wonder if other quarterbacks, that's actually a thing that other quarterbacks do.
It is actually. Yeah.
Like, is
not
that
the only one. Yeah, it's not the only one. Yeah.
That's interesting. Because it didn't make any news until he did it in the pregame. So,
yeah.
Because I've never seen it before, but I was like, I guess it helps because it helps you flip your hips, so it helps you explode through the ball.
Yeah.
So I guess in that way, it would make sense for that to work, because it's like I know he does that, but then it's like I always see but then you always see other quarterbacks do the same stuff in pregame, not that, but they'll like literally be there in like their team T-shirt on with that hat on, and they'll just be sitting there just throwing the ball to like a guy that's like 5-10 yards down the field, just working on repetition. And it's like, but I didn't know that. I really didn't know if that was unique to him, or if that's what every other quarterback has done at some point, because I've never seen it. So
I don't know. I know other quarterbacks do it. Obviously, I don't know which ones, but I know that others do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, the thing is, like, when you watch all the best quarterbacks, as far as they're, the ones who have the best mechanics, it's every single one of them, they have their own unique quirks and things, whatever, but without fail, they have the exact same trajectory from here, coming down, and then to the release. It's the exact same shape for every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's, I mean, I think that goes to show, like, there is ultimately a science to it. And, it's just the other stuff. I mean, it's obviously going to look different for everybody. They're all different heights and arm lengths and whatever else. Like, obviously, Kyler Murray throwing the football is going to look a lot different than Josh Allen. Like, so, yeah, But I'll shut up. I could talk about this for hours.
Yeah. No, Scoop. I want to let you go to expand on this, but also statistically, what have you noticed from Allen? In this part of his career, like 2019 to now, to like early in his career, from a statistical point of view.
Right. So, just the main question, or not, I won't say the main question, but the main thing that I did remember just, and that wasn't with anything in front of me. I remembered that sort of uptick after the Diggs acquisition occurred. Obviously led to his first Pro Bowl year in 2020. He was in the top 2 of MVP that year. But also, not just that, but also it helped particularly kind of get that gap between touchdown and interception, that ratio expand. But it also helped him get from a quarterback who was passing between like 53 and 58% of completions up to almost 70 that following year. So again, I wasn't a believer that necessarily, and I didn't mean to indicate that the Diggs thing was purely or the only factor that changed there. But even then, you go to the playoffs. He went from having one particularly poor performance in the previous year to suddenly taking them through 3 games and having a lot more success in 2020. So just having known that those were changes that were made, and also knowing that Diggs, as his prototype or his archetype as a wide receiver, fit something that was so sorely lacking in the Buffalo offense, and equipped well the strengths of what Allen was coming out of Wyoming, because he was not coming out as a dink and dunk. He was not coming out as a guy who was kind of a Lamar-ish type. He was coming out as somebody who wanted to be able to make the splash play downfield, and somebody who went to Buffalo partially because of their ability to see him as sort of this big physical guy with a big arm who could cut through it in late December and such. So those were just where some of my questions originated from, and just wanted to get additional opinions on that, because again, I'm going back to what I remembered from now 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, and then Scoop, is that 55% of pass accuracy to like 70? That's pretty abnormal from a statistic point of view, correct?
I think I would say it's abnormal from to happen in, because again, this 58.8 to 69.2, this happened in one season. So that was, I think, what particularly had caught my attention. Also, almost doubled his touchdown from 20 to 37. His interception numbers kind of stayed almost identical. But just all those things happening, cutting down the sacks, which obviously I know sacks are not just a QB stat. I understand that. But just all these different things he was able to accomplish. I'll give you another example here. Went from averaging about 5.5 to 6.5 yards per attempt to averaging almost 9 yards per attempt that season. So that is another thing that caught my attention, that indicated to me much more comfortable pushing it down the field than he had been at first.
Yeah. And then, Shane, I know this might be a stupid question, but overall, Allen's arm cutting through that weather in the wintertime, that's gigantic as well. Talk about that piece.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get that Lake Erie cold front that comes through there.
Oh yeah,
it's I mean, a guy like that's why I'm just going to talk about them since they were playing them tonight. That's why like Tua doesn't work in cold weather, because he has a rather flimsy arm compared to most NFL quarterbacks. I mean, God, I've never seen somebody underthrow as many balls as he has. But so yeah, you need, especially for a team like Buffalo, where they, even in that kind of weather, they still lean on the pass game a ton. More than I think most people would. Yeah, you got to have that guy with the cannon, and he definitely does. I mean, I think he probably has the strongest arm, but he also, he knows when to give the ball some touch, and it's it's not like Anthony Richardson where he's just always throwing it 900 miles an hour, and it's like, dude, you don't need to do that. So yeah, I think I really, there's some guys in the league where you're like, he's a perfect fit for this team, for the city, for whatever, and he's one of them. It's like nobody would be better here than him. And I think there's a few guys where that's the case, but he's definitely fits that mold.
Yeah. Brandon, do you have any final thoughts on this piece?
I think, we talk about quarterbacks and kind of, where they fall into place. And this is why I tell people, to a degree, the term system quarterback, people use that term a lot, but they really don't know what it means. It's it's not just the system that you run in, but it's also just the system that's kind of like based on your given attributes, what works for you. So
every quarterback is a system quarterback.
That's what I'm getting towards.
I hate that phrase so much.
Yeah, because every quarterback is a system quarterback, because it's Joe Burrow can do things in Cincy that Tua can't, or Josh Allen can do things up in Buffalo that freaking Joe Flacco can't. It's sorry to throw shade on the GOAT, but
Joe Flacco.
I was gonna say, put some respect on his name, please. Thank you.
But it's like Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan early in his career had an arm, but by the end of it, it became a noodle. But it was that's why, but it wasn't, it kind of made sense. He was playing in a dome most of his career. So it's he could kind of hide it a little bit. There were certain, throws he could make, that he wouldn't be able to make anymore. And so in outdoor weather, a lot of times the system is not just what plays you're running. It's the physical attributes in the area that you play in, also your physical skill set that works with the team you are on. Because teams are looking for a guy that fits what they want to run, yes, but they're also looking at guys, Buffalo had to look at Josh Allen and be like, yeah, we want that guy because we know that guy can get it done. He's massive, he'll fit here, he's got a cannon for an arm. You're not just looking at the guy that fits what you want to run, you're looking at the guy that's also has the physical tools, based on where you're kind of geographically, where you're located too. So there's a little bit of that. So it's every quarterback is a system quarterback. It's just some guys that's why I don't like when people say certain quarterbacks, if you replace them with this one, they would win more.
You think Mahomes would have worked in Chicago?
Nope.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, or it's I won't mention the countless Eagles things I see, but this quarterback would work there because they're a better athlete or whatever the case may be. I'm no, this quarterback works for this and this quarterback works for that. It's not apples to apples. You're not comparing the same thing. These two quarterbacks are not equal. They do different things better than each other or worse than each other. It's not it's not this whole thing where every quarterback's on the same plane and one guy is far and away better than another guy. There's certain things that Josh Allen does that Herbert can't. There's certain things that Flacco could do, 12 years ago that he can't even do now. He's not the same, even because as you progress through the league, you also learn, as you become a veteran, you also learn that you can't play the same way your entire career. It eventually has to shift. It's one reason why Brett Favre, later in his career became even more of a turnover machine, became injury riddled, and never won a Super Bowl after all that success early on with the Packers. The play style never quite changed. It never matured really. The best quarterbacks over time, the play style, they still have what makes them great, but the play style has to mature as you get older. We're talking about Josh Allen, the changes he's made throughout his career. It's why last year he won an MVP. It's why it's looking even better as it goes on through the years. But he's still retaining some of that original gunslinger-ish, play style that he was known for early on. in sports, just in sports in general, you have to adapt eventually. So it's like every quarterback to a degree, not to a degree, every quarterback's a system quarterback, and every quarterback has to adapt eventually as their career goes on. That's just how it is.
Yeah, Scoop, finish us up here with this topic.
No, I just I was gonna mention that I know Brandon has heard me on talk. Hello, I know Brandon has heard me talk about it on what's the Scoop about. Best quarterback doesn't necessarily mean best fit for a team.
Mm-hmm.
I can go back to you weren't on WTS yet, but I spent a good portion of 2024 prior to the draft talking about how I didn't think that Bo Nix was the best quarterback in the draft. However, I thought he was the best fit for the Denver Broncos.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people I think get so obsessed with these comprehensive rankings or these consensus rankings, which is fine. I understand the value of them, but just because you're in general ranked the number 2 overall quarterback, okay. But if your strength is thinking and dunking it field general, and someone's trying to run a vertical zone run offense, then that might not be an optimal fit. So it's I think that sometimes it gets overlooked, and Mahomes is a great example to use. Because I ask people also, and I know enough, we all probably had this conversation of, do you think he would have had the same career in Anaheim, in Los Angeles, or in New York, or whatever the case may be, without not just Hill and Kelsey and company, but also Coach Reed, et cetera, et cetera. And there's nothing against him for saying that. It's not a knock against those players to say that. Every great quarterback has had support in some capacity, and to say that a great quarterback has support or has help around him or has weapons doesn't delegitimize their greatness, because literally no quarterback has gotten to the top without that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, I mean, look, yeah, I was just gonna say, Mahomes had Alex Smith, Aaron had Favre, Love had Aaron, Brady had Bledsoe, you name the guy.
There's always someone behind that has done it before.
Or ahead.
Yeah. Or ahead, yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, I'd say that's a good thought there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, games of the week and pot cookies. Let me look at this really quick. Do we all agree that Bengals-Vikings is pot cookies because of the quarterback matchup? Or does someone have a different thought? Because I know we talked about this a little bit on Monday, that this was probably going to be unanimous. Shane, do you have this penciled in?
I don't know. I'd have to check the rest of the schedule.
Yeah. Really quick while Shane's doing that, do you guys want to guess the line for Bengals-Vikings? Scoop, if you get 3 out of 4, I'm eliminating you from the competition for the next 3 weeks. Just going to take you out of it for a while, just to give these guys a shot. But
I'm sending. If you do that, I'm sending you a piss test for juicing.
Juicing your mind.
Yeah, piss test.
All right, Bengals-Vikings.
Can't do anything.
All right, Bengals-Vikings. What's our line here, folks?
Oh, that's ugly. Oh,
I'll say Bengals -3.
Okay.
I was gonna go lower. I was gonna say that's because of the quarterback situation. I'm gonna say Jesus. Bengals -1.5. Screw it.
All right, Scoop, are you going in the middle?
Where's the game being played again?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, so I'm gonna take the home advantage because it's in Minnesota and a more experienced quarterback, even though I can't stand him anymore. But I don't think it's gonna be that. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a margin. So give me Minnesota minus. I'll go field goal -3.
-2.5 Minnesota.
Oh,
I opened 2.5.
We're still alive. We're still alive. It was close. We're still alive.
Okay, so Shane, have you had a chance to look through the rest of the games? Also, Scoop, Brandon, are you guys taking Bengals Vikings as well as the worst game of the week?
Yeah. I mean, Falcons Panthers to me might be crap.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I choose Chiefs Giants or no?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
That's what I was
thinking
say.
too.
I was just going to say that too.
Yeah, but then it's like, but then watch. This is the game that we all kind of think I'm picking, and Russell Wilson's got 450 yards again, and we're gonna be like, okay, well, amazing.
Or a plot twist: the quarterback early is not good, so they put in Jackson Dart, and he comes in and saves the freaking day.
On Sunday Night Football, I don't want to lead the show with that.
I don't want to leave.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying, watch it be our luck.
Well, my backyard's gonna be a bloodbath on Sunday because it's gonna be a bunch of one team has to win, one team has to lose. So unless they both end in a tie, which would be so just
that would be the most
insane.
amazing result of the year.
And
then we have to do our yearly Shane hates ties segment, which is going to happen at some point this year.
I hope it happens.
Scoop hasn't been here yet for that segment, but we'll wait. It's going to happen at some point. So hang on.
Fun.
Which reminds me, as of last year, you can now tie in high school football, and when I found out about that before our first,
you can tie in high school.
Mm-hmm. So you have. It's kind of like college. So you get 2 overtime periods from the 25. Okay. Or you get one. One possession each. You don't score, then you go to a second one, and then you get 2 of the 2-point conversion attempts, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you're still tied after that, it's a tie.
Wait, do you get how many? You get 2 OTs and then you tie?
No. You get 2 OTs, and then 2, the 2-point conversion. Attempts,
so 4
whatever.
OTs, so you can't go
so
longer
4
than
basically.
That? That's stupid. Okay, that's stupid.
I learned about this in the locker room before our first game 2 weeks ago, and I was really pissed.
I mean, the chances of that happening though are like so slim.
Pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, I've
watch
only
it happen this week.
the longest. Shut up. The longest I've ever. The longest in my career that a game has ever gone was double OT. That was when I was like a sophomore.
Yeah.
Long time ago. But yeah, it didn't matter because then we went out and beat them 51-6 in that game. But anyways,
Jesus. Okay. Really quick, Chiefs Giants. What's the spread, boys?
Chiefs -2.
I'll go one more. I'll say Chiefs -3.
Scoop.
No, I think it's still going to be Chiefs more significantly. I know they're 0-2, but I think Vegas still likes the Chiefs. I'll go Chiefs minus. What did y'all say?
Shane said -2, and I said -3.
Nah, I got to go more than that. Chiefs minus. I'll go 5.5.
Close. Chiefs -6.5.
Oh, okay, we're still alive. Still alive.
I think Kansas City will win just because, I can't imagine them starting 0-3.
0-3, yeah.
Yeah, no way.
But
it wouldn't shock me if New York won this.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say about that.
I can see either side winning, and the thing is, this is hell for me and Scoop because we want neither of them to win.
Yeah, no. Can this game end in a tie?
Wait, yeah. Scoop. So you have 2 hellholes. You got Vikings, you got an Eagles game, and then you got Sunday night. It's going to be the worst Sunday of your life.
I think Brandon and I are going to swap roles from this past weekend when he was screaming screaming so loudly. It was just pure feedback for 3 hours straight. I couldn't tell what he was saying.
I'm telling you, listen. I could literally be the next Swoop. I screech so loud on Discord because of these games. I have headphones on, so I almost went deaf a second time. Yeah, I'm sorry. But this is what you get when you watch Eagles football. But you know what sucks is now I have to tone it down because my grandparents are back home. So now I have to reel myself back in from where I was on Sunday.
Good
Brandon,
luck with that.
You should tell the story of how your grandfather tore down the. I don't think we talked about this on this version of the pod.
I don't think.
When your grandfather tore the flagpole that you have out front.
Towards the end of 2023, the 2023 season. Yeah, the collapse of the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, that was funny.
Oh dear God.
Because it was the one time he was actually more upset than me watching an Eagles game. We're sitting there watching Eagles Cardinals. What is it, 21-6 at halftime? Julio Jones caught like 2 touchdown passes. We're like, this is great. We're gonna blow the doors off of Arizona. What happens? Complete choke in the second half. Can't stop James Conner. Can't stop a nosebleed. And all of a sudden, my grandfather walks out towards the end of the fourth quarter when the game was pretty much over after the Cardinals had virtually sealed it. And he literally said, I mean, listen, I'm going to curse, but he was like, fuck this shit. And he goes outside. He's like, I'm so done. Walks outside. We open the garage door because it was closed. Opens the garage door, grabs the flag, and almost rips it down just because he was so pissed. He literally takes the ring off. He's like, fuck that. Fuck this. Taking the flag down, threw it in the back of the garage. He's like, I'll see them next year. I'm done. Like, I got enough of this.
That year was when my hatred of the Cardinals started.
Oh my God. But it's like,
okay, wait. You should see Seahawks fans, man. When Shane comes back from killing a spider that he saw, as he just texted us. Actually, we could save that for Thursday because Thursday Seahawks Cardinals. Which I know Shane isn't going to be excited about. Shane, are you excited for Seahawks Cardinals on Thursday next week?
What were you saying about crazy Seahawks fans while I was still gone?
Well, because how in Seattle we have some issues with Arizona because those games are always tough, and of course next Thursday,
dude, there's like
it's already deep in thought.
Here's the thing. When Seattle plays in Arizona, there's just something weird in the water around here. Like, it's just because that stadium is a curse for the Seahawks franchise, I swear, man. They lose the Super Bowl there. Sherm tears his Achilles or whatever it was and plays his last game as a Seahawk there. Earl Thomas, flips the bird and plays his last game there. Cam Chancellor gets his crazy neck injury. That's his last game ever. I'm like, what is happening in this state? This is just a graveyard for Seattle.
And it was when the Eagles had terrible turf.
Yes, thank you. For some reason, all 3 teams that have been mentioned here so far are birds. Funny enough, the home team though gets the advantage, so it's upsetting.
Jake from State Farm needs to tear down that stadium.
There's no hospitality among the birds apparently. So
all bird teams won last week, so there's that.
Yeah, no, that was something.
I will root against the Cardinals until John Gannon is.
We have a. We must have a bird team union and not invite the Cardinals.
I know a Cardinals fan. I know a Cardinals fan. Literally, Adam's next door neighbor Eddie is a Cardinals fan.
Well, he's uninvited. Sorry.
All right.
Seahawks, Falcons, Eagles.
All right. Game of the week here. What do you guys have? This is kind of a tough game of the week. I guess minus Monday Night Football, but you guys can't choose that. So,
yeah, thanks. I guess it's Eagles Rams. I mean,
rematch.
Just kind of by default. I don't know what else it would be. Like
Broncos Chargers can be good.
The way the Broncos have played the last 2 weeks, though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Could be. I'm not saying it will be. It could be.
Yeah. Oh my God, man.
Honestly, yeah. By default, I would say us too. Honestly,
that's the right choice. I think. Scoop, is that the right choice for game of the week?
button for a second. I think it is. I think it's definitely up there for sure. Um, I forgot for a moment that we couldn't pick Monday night game because I was going to pick Lions Ravens. Um, but yeah, no, I gotta go with the Eagles Rams. That's definitely at least one of the more compelling ones. I had my eye also on uh, Dallas Chicago, not even because I think it's gonna be like like I don't think they're two great teams, but I can see them being in just such a dogfight because they both I think are the type of teams that could win this game just by either getting lucky on one play or the other team getting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just classic franchises, you know.
Yeah. Eagles Rams spread.
Ooh.
Have you guys seen it already, Brandon?
No.
Have you guys seen the spread already?
I have to repeat myself. I know.
Okay. So Brandon
I
beat
didn't see
Shane
it.
here.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I'm gonna say Rams -3.
How dare you?
I know, picking my division rival over the Bird Union.
Yeah, we just had this talk 2 minutes ago. I guess the coalition is already dead. That was the fastest demolition of a coalition. Bars.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're the home team. We own them historically. I mean, listen, regardless of how it looks, we're still 2-0. I mean, I think in the playoff game, it was like Eagles -4.5, but that's a way different team at this point.
It was 4.5. Yeah, you're right on that.
Yeah. Wow, look at me going in the Wayback Machine and getting a guess right. That should count as like 10 guess the lines.
You just want to do that so you can beat Scoop. Scoop is already ahead.
Oh, I know. I mean, we're not beating Scoop the rest of the season. He already got like the first 10 of them right. So I'll say, you know what? I mean, they always play each other pretty close, one-score games, unless you count the blowout. But playoff game, I think, sticks in people's minds. So I'll say, you know what? I'll say Eagles -2.5.
Okay, Shane.
I said Rams -3.
Yeah. Oh, Rams -3. Yes. Eagles -3.5.
I was gonna guess
my bad, Shane. I didn't realize that you took the Rams on that side. Okay.
I didn't want to give us more than a field goal. That's why I was like, ooh, should I go 3.5? Because I was like, ugh.
Okay, let's go Broncos Chargers.
Ooh.
I'll go Chargers -5.
I mean, the game's in Denver, I think, right?
No, the game's in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the Chargers are the one team in the league where like home field advantage, whether they're home or away, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, no,
because they play 17 away games. I mean,
oh boy. I mean, it's a division game. I think the Broncos looked better last week despite the loss. Damn. And they really and technically you could say controversial, they probably should have won. Even though that was a leverage penalty, clearly.
It was leverage. It was. I watched it over and over again. It was leverage.
Too. Yeah. Oh man. I will say. Wait, Shane, you say Chargers -5?
Yeah.
I mean, I know those division games are tight. The Chargers don't blow anybody out, though. I'm going to say Chargers -3.
Scoop? Hang on. There we go.
Oh, he's muted.
No. Okay, you're good.
What's wrong?
No, you're good. You're good. You're back on. You're good.
Okay. So I'm taking the Chargers minus. Well, you already took -3, so I'll flip. I'll I'll go inside the field goal. I'll take 2.5.
Chargers minus 2.5. There you go.
He's cheating.
And you?
Um,
No, he's not. No, he's not.
yeah, I'm kidding.
You have okay, and Scoop, you said Cowboys Bears would be sneaky, so I'll give you the honor of starting that line.
Okay. Because I chose it to be close. I do think Dallas wins just because I don't trust the Cowboys offense with what's his name over there? Williams.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm terrible with names.
CW.
Remind me, game home or away?
In Chicago, my friend.
In Chicago, thank you. So I'll go Dallas. I'll go the other side. I'll go Dallas minus 3.5.
Okay.
I'm so scared that he got it right.
I'm not going to tell you.
I know that.
I'm gonna say Dallas minus 6.
I'll go somewhere in the middle. I'll say Cowboys minus 4.5.
You guys might be surprised by this. Dallas minus 1.5.
Are you serious? Whoa! I mean, listen. I know their defense isn't good, but Dallas's offense has been far better.
And Scoop, you said 3.5, right? So
I don't remember, but I definitely didn't say 1.5.
yeah, you said 3.5, but
I think
my
3.
God.
Yeah, 3.5.
Scoop was the closest there, right? Because you.
Yeah, but we don't.
Yeah. What else is new?
We don't get points unless it's dead on the nose.
Dead on.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that I was.
All right. Finally, let's just do Monday night for kicks. Lions at Baltimore. It's Thursday, so obviously very much subject to change, as all these are, but very much for Monday.
I'll go Ravens minus 3.
Okay, minus 3 for Shane.
You're in the right ballpark of like where I'm thinking. I'm gonna say, oh my God. Just because it depends on which Lions team shows up. But I think Vegas still likes the Lions. You know, they had a bad showing in Week 1 against the Packers. I'll say Ravens minus 2.
I'm gonna get in between y'all. I'm gonna say Ravens minus 3.5.
Ravens minus 4.5.
Really?
Yep.
That seems a little high. Interesting.
Yeah. Any other games that you might be curious about? Anything else?
Let's see. Do you guys want to guess your Seahawks game?
Oh my! I'll just tell you. I don't even want you guys to guess.
That should be high.
Seattle minus 9.5.
Isn't it like 8.5 for Seattle?
Okay, so Brandon, are you going 8.5?
8.5.
Go 9.5.
Scoop, are you taking Seahawks Saints?
Who am I taking? I'm Seahawks.
I mean, yeah, but who are you taking for the spread? But yeah, we're all taking the Seahawks. In Seattle.
In Seattle.
Like a dozen.
Yeah, I can't even remember. So I'll just say I can't remember what anybody else said. So I'll just say Seahawks minus 8.
Close. Seahawks minus 7.5. I'll give you guys Packers Browns.
Ew.
Oh God.
Ew.
Sorry, Grandpa.
Bro.
Green Bay minus 10.
It should be. Oh my God. Oh God. Cool. Green Bay. Oh my God. I mean, the Browns are so bad. Green Bay minus 9.
Scoop.
Once again, I forget what other people said. So I'll say Green Bay minus 8.5.
Tied with the Seahawks. Green Bay minus 7.5.
Wow.
That's tied for the most.
That doesn't make any sense.
I would have thought it'd be more. I would have thought it'd be more than that.
Yeah, let's keep going. What other games haven't we guessed, actually?
Well, I'm trying to think of fun ones to take, because obviously I don't want to do all of them.
It feels like we're almost there.
A little bit. Texans, Jaguars.
Oh, that's in Jacksonville too.
Texans minus 1.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Ah, damn. I'll say
Either way, I don't care.
yeah. I mean, the Texans look better against the Bucks, but I'm gonna say it's a pick. I'm gonna say Texans minus 1.
Scoop.
I'm gonna say Jaguars minus. I'm gonna go the same margin. I'm gonna go Jaguars minus 1.
Holy crap! Jaguars minus 1.5.
Oh,
I keep missing by a half a freaking
oh
point.
my god! You've already got one on the nose tonight.
All right, we'll finish up with Steelers at Patriots.
I'll go Steelers minus 4.
You were thinking along the lines I was. I'll say Steelers minus 4.5.
I'm gonna say Steelers, but closer margin. I'll say Steelers minus 2.
Steelers minus 1.5.
Oh my god! When it's that close, it's enough to piss you off. Like Scoop last year,
and 4 in a row.
Last year that was me missing by a half every week. Like it was like, oh, well, but wait, please tell me Bucks Jets is like Bucks minus 11.5. Like,
you want to guess it? Do you want to guess it?
Because Tyrod Taylor's playing for the Jets, so. I mean, oh my God! You know what? I'll say. I mean, well, the Buccaneers don't blow anybody out, but this one should be Buccaneers minus 10.5.
Well, Robert said the highest one was 7.5, so
yeah.
I'll say Buccaneers minus 6.5.
That's what I was gonna say. So, what did you say the highest was?
7.5.
Okay.
Is that the highest of the week, or is that just the highest
highest of the whole week? Yeah, minus the Bills game, obviously.
Also, I'm going to change my answer.
Yeah, go.
Jesus, I mean, it should be 10.5. They're playing Tyrod Taylor. But okay. Wait, Shane, what did you say?
I said
minus 6.5.
All right, I'll say 5.5 for the Bucks.
I'll say. I'll go right in between. I'll say minus 6.
Shane finally gets a win. Bucks minus 6.5. There you go.
We've been waiting for how long for this moment?
It only took me like 3 years.
Yeah,
this game will live in infamy for Shane.
Oh my God.
Okay. Post-credit scene. I'm sure you guys talked about it on What's the Scoop. Go check Brandon and Scoop out for that as well. But Clayton Kershaw retiring. Scoop, I'll give you the floor.
Again, it was a significant thing that happened today. I think it was more shocking than surprising, meaning I think that it caught people's attention when it happened, but once you start to process it, you kind of think, oh, it makes sense. Some people thought he'd go back to Texas for a little bit before he retired, but it doesn't. Well, I mean, it not appears. We know now he's going to retire as a career Dodger. And the two things that I really covered on What's the Scoop that I want to also reiterate here is really the last, I would say, true model of both consistency and depth that we got in the modern era. 2010 to 2015, 5 of 6 years, 200 innings or more, and just barely missed that in the other year. The only players since then to do that more than 3 times, there were 2 players, were Verlander and Cole, and Verlander hasn't done it since 2019. So it just kind of goes to show how rare it is. Despite the injuries that he had as he got older, was still, available. As I say, the best ability is availability, and he was that in spades for a good chunk of his career there. Another thing that I mentioned was he kind of had this sort of reputation of being a playoff guy who didn't really show up in the big moments, who kind of shrunk in big games. And I think that as his career went on, it was kind of unfair. I'm not a huge fan of the win-loss stat for pitching, but he was pivotal to 5 of the wins in 2020. And I know that people say it's a Mickey refereeing. The fact of the matter is, it was agreed upon to play the season that year, play it the way that they did, and the Dodgers won that 2020 ring, and it was largely on thanks to Kershaw's success that year, where he allowed less than one base runner per inning and allowed less than 3 runs per 9 innings, and so success like that, and he's replicated it in other seasons as well as he's gotten older. I really think that that's kind of followed him like a dark cloud, and I find it particularly unfair because they don't win that championship without him, and they're not in position to win other championships potentially since then and slightly before then without him, both leading up to the playoffs and in the playoffs as well. So definitely one of the greatest pitchers, not just of our generation, but of all time, but also somebody who I think somehow manages to get underrated because I think that this still kind of plagues him from the early career. Kind of, I liken him a little bit to kind of a Lamar Jackson type, where I think this reputation that he had from his first couple years kind of stuck to his butt throughout his older years, and I found that particularly unfair.
Yeah, Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of just a consistent dominant lefty, he's the last one so far of our era that has done it. I mean, now you have guys like like Skubal, like Max Fried, like guys of that kind of stature, but they've only done it for a short period of time. But in terms of the long, consistent, dominant pitching, Kershaw is the latest one. I mean, he's the last one so far. So, I mean, it's also amazing to think that a lot of guys who get up into their late 30s, they just kind of lose their game a little bit. Like even Verlander's been like that, Scherzer's been like that, but Kershaw this year has 10-2, 3 point, I think it's like a 3.5 ERA. Like he's still, I mean, it's not his peak, but he's still near the top of his game. He's going out near the top of his game, and they still obviously have a World Series ring they want to capture, especially with him because he was hurt last year for pretty much the whole ride. So, it's there's still a little bit left of his career to make a memory here, but but it definitely wasn't shocking. I mean, there was rumblings of this all year, really since last year, kind of. So we knew it was coming pretty much eventually in the next, from last year on for the next year or two. So it's happening now. It's just a shock that he would announce it this late in the season, I guess. But I guess you can either announce it late in the season or you can announce it early on. So, and I guess he's not a guy that would be like up for like a farewell tour. So I guess, especially because he still had the 3,000 milestone to get. So that might have been probably a little too much had they given him a farewell tour, had like maybe taken his attention away from that. But I mean, I'm like Scoop was saying on the show before that we're glad we never had to face him that much in the AL East, because it's just someone like that who was dominant for so long. I mean, multiple two 20+ win seasons in his prime. It was like 6 or 7 straight seasons where it was like a sub-3 ERA. Just in his prime, like a complete model of consistency, a complete dominant pitcher. And say what you will about his postseason numbers, but he did have quite a few good postseason starts. People just forget about it because he's had more bad ones, but so has every big pitcher. But just it's a career that you look back on. It's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He'll go in easily first ballot. And it's just nice to kind of see, one guy, one pitcher, one hitter, whatever it may be, any kind of guy in this day and age play their whole career in one city. And he did. So, as much as he might have wanted to be, in Texas, I can't imagine that given how long he was a Dodger. It's like that's his home really now. He made his debut in MLB at 20 for the Dodgers. So as far as I'm concerned, LA is his home. But just an outstanding. It's not even the word. There's not even words to describe the kind of career he's had And it's awesome to see that he's that people are starting to, obviously, because it was just announced all of a sudden tonight really. So it's nice to kind of see people. I've seen people on social media already starting to give their flowers to him. But all along, everybody's been giving it, because we all knew years ago that he was going to end up being a first ballot Hall of Famer. And it's also sad to see, because for our generation, for us, a lot of the guys that we grew up with are all retiring. Like they're all going one by one. I mean, now when you look at the pitchers from our era that are left, there's not many. It's really just just Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, and I think that's about it. I can't think. And also, I mean, if he ever decides to come play in the MLB again, Rich Hill, because that guy doesn't retire. But
is he not retired yet?
I don't think so. I think he's playing overseas right now.
How old is he now?
45.
Jesus Christ!
Still pitching. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's like a lot of the guys from our era are gone now, so it's sad to see another one that's gonna hang it up. But you couldn't ask for a better way to hang it up. For him to be chasing a World Series, pretty much for the most part fully healthy, still near the top of his game. It would be nice to see him get another. I mean, 2020 is one thing, but that was a shortened season. It doesn't discredit it, but it was a shortened season. But you want to see him actually get one, playing the whole 162 and pitching in the post. You want to see it. So, they still got some unfinished business, and so does he. But as of right now, that's a hell of a career. It's a hell of a way to go out, and it's Cooperstown's calling him tonight. The second he announced after his retirement, he's getting the call tonight. So, congratulating him on his career. So, wow, just what a way to go out.
Yeah, and as I turn it over to Shane, I encourage you guys to look at the chat, because I remember this just rolling around social media for all these years.
Yeah.
Of imagine going to a game expecting Randy Johnson versus Greg Maddux and getting Max Scherzer versus Clayton Kershaw, which is as amazing as it could ever be.
Yeah.
Shane, finish us off on Clayton.
Yeah, and we had no idea what that would become. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, growing up playing baseball in the 2010s, there were always pitchers that, well, I mean, people of any position, but there were always pitchers that we looked up to, and guys like, for starters, Felix Hernandez. I mean, local guy, obviously, but him, Sabathia,
Yep.
CC.
Well, CC, yeah. And like Scherzer, obviously, Justin Verlander. And the biggest one though was always, at least for me, the guy that I kind of, I wouldn't say modeled my game after, but who I kind of, took a kin to, so to speak, was Kershaw. And that's because, we're both lefties. So, I always thought that was cool, a little more relatable. And I just think, when you look at his, I mean, people, bash him for his postseason performance, whatever. It's like, yeah, but there are very few pitchers I've seen who were able to do, off speed and kind of being deceptive in the way that he is. I mean, he has like a 20-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and change, curve, whatever else, which is crazy. And the way that he's able to hide pitches really well and essentially just take advantage of, being a lefty and just that being sort of a, abnormality. And I was glad to see him get a couple rings, even though, I mean, one of them, like Brandon was saying, or maybe it was Scoob, he wasn't, last year he wasn't really part of it, but, still, I mean, what a career, like, seeing
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 3-time Cy Young, like that just doesn't happen, and, or winning NL MVP, like that almost never goes to a pitcher. It's almost always a position player because it's like, well, they have the Cy Young, so but yeah, man, it's it is. I mean, more than anything, it's just kind of sad, It's like all these, like Brandon was saying, all these pitchers from our childhood are just like slowly, going. But
it means we're getting old.
Yes, it does.
Well, somewhat, yeah. But I mean, I had a little bit of this too, like because I started watching baseball when I was like in 05, 06. So I had a little bit of this when, like Randy Johnson retired and, guys like
Pedro,
Tim Lincecum, like these different guys like that from the, who were bigger back then. Cliff Lee,
Oh, yeah.
That's a name you probably haven't heard in a while.
Roy Halladay. The list goes on.
Roy Halladay, yeah, Jake Peavy. I mean, you name it. Yeah. So that's so yeah. I kind of went, obviously we went through it there, and then now we're having like this next group, but it just goes to show you that the game does, it does go on without these guys. But we never forget them, and because I mean I do really like the new generation of guys. I mean, obviously I'm a fan of like Logan Gilbert being a Seattle guy, but
I'm a huge Scooble guy too. Watching him is so fun.
Yeah, Skeens.
Skeens,
Brian Wu.
Wu is continuing to grow.
Yeah.
Wu. I mean, he's a dirty rotten Astro, but Framber Valdez, I mean, he's really solid.
Oh yeah.
Scoop. Any other new names? Scoop that you can think of?
Credit's due.
All I was saying was, can we please get Skeens out of Pittsburgh?
Yes. Yeah.
No kidding.
We were close at the trade deadline. We were close.
I'm not sure I buy that we were particularly close, to be honest with you. Even as a Yankees fan, I have to say that I think 5 or 6 other teams could have made better offers than we could. I mean, this is definitely.
It's funny. We talked about that on Monday too. You guys are like, we want Skeens in New York.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he goes anywhere in the next 6-7 years.
Yeah,
I typically don't let myself say give too much bias on shows like this, but I don't think he's on that tier, but on the very next tier behind him, I think I think a lot of people are going to be learning Cam Schlittler's name over the next year.
Love
I
it.
think. I think around the league, I'll go across town. I'm liking what I'm seeing early on from Nolan McLean over with the Mets. I'm very curious to see because it sounds like they're going to put him to the Wolves going right into Game 1 in this playoffs, which I understand why, because they don't have much behind them, and I don't really think that a lot of New York fans are expecting Clay Holmes to be a major Game 1 starter in his first season as a starter. But he's somebody else of whom I've become quite a fan in his young career as he has kind of cut his teeth at the major leagues. So those are the two names that really came to me when talking about just the new era of pitching. I'd like to say one more thing about Kershaw.
Yes.
Because we were talking about the postseason and yada yada yada. You're going to be more susceptible to struggling when you've thrown the 7th most innings in the postseason in MLB history,
That's crazy.
And when you've started the 5th most games in the playoffs in MLB history, behind only Pettit, Verlander, Glavine, and Clemens.
Wow.
So you're going to have more chances to have some strugglers when you're in the top 5 and 7 respectfully in all time.
And it's you know what else too? We're talking about the MVP award that he has. He's the last pitcher to win MVP. Like, do we not understand how crazy that is for a pitcher to, like Shane was saying, for a pitcher to win MVP? Like that's just ridiculous. Like that's something that you literally might never see again. Like,
unless you count Shohei, but I mean,
yeah, but it was mostly because
he was a hitter too. So
but the last actual pitcher to win was Kershaw.
Right. True pitcher.
Like that's like I don't even know who was before him. Honestly, I'm not even sure. But like, I mean, that's just insanity that we have that, kind of like, where he's the only one. And you know what's funny? Just another famous Dodger that won it was Sandy Koufax. So he follows right in Sandy Koufax's footsteps by doing that. But it's just insanity to think that, before Kershaw, it was actually, it was Verlander in 2011 that did it. But then before him was Clemens back in '86. So it doesn't happen often. I mean, it happened pretty close between those two. But
rare
Shohei,
still.
Yeah, but like, I don't count Shohei because Shohei does both. Like, and now he's struggling as a pitcher. I think he should just transition to being a hitter now. But as a pure pitcher, it was 11 years ago. So, and with how these hitters are nowadays, 10, 11 years later, I don't know if a pitcher's ever going to win it again. So it's impressive that he did it, especially in his prime. So that just makes his career even greater and the resume even greater.
Yeah. To finish off, Jeff Passan did a really great tweet that popped on my timeline. He was rereading this article by Andy McCall, I believe is the name. I apologize if I got that right. He's now at The Athletic, but this was at Yahoo Sports at the time. And he was talking about rereading this article today. And here's what he wrote here's what Jeff Passan wrote on Twitter based on this article. More than 17 years ago, I went to Mobile, Alabama to meet a 20-year-old everyone said was going to be the next great pitcher. His name was Clayton Kershaw. I had no idea what he would be, but none of us had any idea what a pitcher will be. But I really liked him. He was a kid, but he had a maturity about him, that rare mixture of confidence tempted by humility. What he became was astounding. 3-time Cy Young, two World Series rings, 1 MVP, Inner Circle Hall of Famer, forever Dodger. He is one of the defining pitchers of his generation and all-time great. So that piece is up on Jeff Passan's Twitter if you're interested in reading the whole piece. But it is clearly just kind of amazing to see him as a 17-year-old as based on this article, or excuse me, as a 20-year-old 17 years ago to where he is now as a future Hall of Famer here in a few years' time. But anything else before we go?
One of my favorite fun facts about Clayton Kershaw is that in high school, his starting catcher was Matt Stafford.
Yeah! Yes!
I am learning for the first time.
Yeah, they're besties. They're good friends as well.
I remember seeing that stat seeing that fun fact so many times. I can't remember. I don't know why. I've just blocked it out of my memory.
Scoop, go ahead. So you didn't know about that before this?
This is the first time I've heard of that.
That is quite amazing.
Well, you know what they say, the catcher is the quarterback of baseball. So
it actually is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd still like it.
Yeah.
I'd still like it plus lefties to be able to have catchers on MLB the show, but I think
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wait, are catchers only righties on the show?
I'm
Yep.
left-handed, and it's so annoying.
Oh, I'm left-handed as well.
Hmm.
Well, I don't play catcher, so I
Well,
always play
yeah,
pitcher
see-
on the show.
I am left-handed, and I did play catcher in real life. So, like,
Aren't you ambidextrous or whatever that's called?
I mean,
Ambidextrous.
kind of ambidextrous, yeah, kind of, but I am dominant left. Like, I throw with my left and all that, so.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had 3 left-handers on the show. Brandon, are you right-handed?
Yeah, righty.
Righty, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, still righty. Yeah, I'm
Shane,
sorry.
I have a question.
Oh, you mean you're normal?
Yeah. That's right. Superior. No, but like, you know what's funny though? Like, I don't remember facing any lefties growing up. I think everybody I knew, except for we had one kid that we faced that I went to school with who was a lefty hitter, but I think he threw righty, which is a weird combo. Usually, if you're left, it's usually left and right.
Yeah.
So it's weird to be a lefty hitter but throw right.
Well, I throw left, hit right.
That is strange.
That's even more, I think.
That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen anybody actually do that. I've seen the flip, but I've never seen that.
Flip when you're playing on the left side of the infield, but
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Scoop, what was your question for Shane?
oh yes. So in your time working with quarterbacks, we talked earlier in the show about baseball and football and kind of how those throwing motions and the mechanics and whatnot. So how and we've talked to there's talk sometimes about how Mahomes kind of throws like a sidearm motion and yada yada. What about baseball players who throw submarine? Do you ever see quarterbacks work on throwing submarine?
What is submarine?
It's like
almost-
guys like Chad Bradford or Tyler Rogers, the pitcher formerly for the Giants, I think now for the Mets.
It's almost
I think-
underhand.
Yeah. I think
Essentially.
Tim Hill does it too.
And he's more like low sidearm. He's kind of not.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
The only people I ever see submarining a football, and I've seen this multiple times, is centers.
Okay,
That's weird.
I don't know why, but they all do it. Other than that, I've never seen a quarterback or anybody else do it.
thank you for answering.
Yeah, anytime. So
How would that even help them in any capacity?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Does not make sense to me, but
Speaking of offensive linemen, I'm trying to think about reinventing the tush push, and I came up with something.
Okay.
What if we have
God.
what if we have like a backup center, like take a snap from the starting center and jump over, or like something like that?
I mean, the
'Cause I don't
Eagles.
understand why teams do that.
The
Like,
Eagles
some
could
teams-
be. The Eagles could realistically put Jordan Mailata under center because he played rugby, and he did carry the ball a lot when he played. It's not a rugby play, but he did carry the ball a lot in rugby, and he plowed through people. They could technically just put him there, have him take the snap, and it's a
'cause
touchdown every time.
that's illegal.
This just feels like wild.
Well,
Yeah, but no,
It is.
100%. I agree with you, Scoop. But I'm just like, because here's my thing, like something in one, like 3rd and 1, or at the goal line in 1. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I were a head coach, I'd just be like, put an offensive lineman there and let him just go. But I don't know.
The only thing that might not work with that is that, in theory, it should because they're big and they're strong. But at the same time, they don't touch the ball they're not ball carriers. They don't touch the ball that often.
Yeah, they could fumble, right? That's like, yeah.
So if they get whacked, it's like that ball's probably coming out.
actually,
Oh God, I would love.
I'm just trying to figure out how to reinvent it so people don't get pissed off about it all the time.
People are gonna get pissed anyway because it's just a new version of a QB sneak, and that's the end of it. Like,
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to figure out if there's like a way to circumvent it in any way.
well, and since Well, yeah, true. And since
Sorry,
my
say
Lotta
that.
is, huh?
No, Scoop, say that again. My bad.
All I said was hitting the weight room might help.
Yeah, that is true. Shane, go ahead.
Well, and since my Lotta's Aussie, it would just be, he'd fumble the ball and he'd be like, "Oh, get on the ball."
Oh my god!
His reaction to it. I mean, I put it in the chat, but his reaction to it was hilarious when they're like, "Oh yeah, they're calling it a rugby play." Like he's answered that question so many times. He is a former rugby player. It's not because he's an Eagle and he's defending it. He's literally played rugby and he says it's not a rugby play. Like this isn't hard to understand. It's not.
Yeah, I want to find that clip again. I gotta find it.
His facial expressions are awesome. Like he is leaning into being a football player through and through. And listen. This is homerish, but it's just true. You are hard pressed to find a better story in the NFL than what Jordan Mailata went through to play football.
Oh yeah,
I think.
And to be
especially for how good he is.
A lineman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was thinking that because how many guys have come through the what's that overseas program?
Yeah, the International Pathway Program.
Yeah,
it's basically an extra roster spot on the 53, and so you kind of have to get that hurdle. You either go in the practice squad or you're like a 54th man on a roster. Most guys in the International Pathway Program don't. I mean, I think we have a few. We have a few Aussie punters, of course. Obviously, Mailata
didn't go through that, did he? Did Mailata go through that?
Yeah, he went. That was before That was before. I think that was before the Pathway Program was really entrenched. But yes,
yeah, I was going to say. I remember him coming through. Yeah, I remember him coming through, and they brought him here to train him before he got drafted. So, I remember when they were showing.
If not, he spearheaded the program.
Yeah, I remember when they showed him, getting drafted late. Like he was that's another thing too. He was a 7th rounder. He was almost like the very end of the draft, and I remember them showing highlights, and there was no football highlights. It was maybe him working out in the summer, with football. But then all of his highlights were all just rugby. It was all him mowing people down in rugby. And they're like, yeah, we want that guy. And all of a sudden, he's become one of the best tackles, if not the best tackle, outside maybe Lane. Well, there's a couple guys. But actually, he's quite literally the highest graded left tackle in football.
I'll post this in the chat because I'm looking at my phone, but I'm trying to find all this information. The International Pathway Program is really fascinating. I think there's, let's see where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think, resubmit, I think is going back, but I'll count them. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, Jesus. So I would say, yeah, it's like about 20 to 25 guys currently in the league through the International Pathway Program.
I did 23.
23, yep. So 23 guys currently in the Pathway Program, or from the Pathway Program, that are in the NFL. But yeah, it's a pretty great program. I recommend doing some research on it. It's quite fascinating. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got. So for Scoop, for Brandon, for Shane, for myself, Robert, we will see you all on Sunday. A little bit of a scheduling note. We're not going to record on Monday night. We're recording on Tuesday night. But we'll see you back here on Sunday for your full recap. Maybe a little bit earlier, we hope, if the Chiefs maybe, hopefully.
Maybe.
We would like that. But if not, we'll see you after that game. And, of course, we'll see you on Tuesday. Peace, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. And thank you all for joining us.
Night, y'all.
See you later.
Take care, everybody.